Made it look the way. 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 Made it look the way.
versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. That's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. That's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. I feel it all, I feel it all. I'm feeling numb, I'm feeling numb. I lost my soul, it's on the run. I need a spark, I need a spark. I need some fun, I need that fun. I'm in the dark, like what's to come. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. That's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. That's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. It's me versus me, it's you and I. The time is now, it's do or die. I chose my path, no choosing sides. I'll take what comes, hit for the ride. I'm that guy, no more time for the bad guy. Never going back to the bad side. Need the holy water, get baptized. Yeah, yeah, I'm that guy. No more time for the bad guy. Never going back to the bad side. Need the holy water, get baptized. I'm that guy. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. It's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood. Get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds. Understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you, and now I'm good. Wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should.
Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, race fans. X-Adventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and it is time for week number 4, season 54, Forza Spec Racing Series, Ford Crown Victoria. How many times can I get the kind of the 4 sound in one sentence? I think I'm going for a record there. Appreciate you tuning in. We're running at a beautiful 6,000 kilobits per second here on this Tuesday, bringing to you Forza Motorsport 7 in its dying days, in its waning days that it has left here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. And we are ready to see what tonight's action has in store. We've got 2 races here this evening, being that it is the penultimate week, week number 4 here of a 5-week season, with just 1 race to go. after tonight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings coming into week number 4. What's going on there, Slottles? Slottles says, this music is going hard. Yeah, well, good thing the stream is almost done for, because I don't know if that the intro is going to hold on. It keeps sputtering at parts there during the intro. Now, we're not sure what that's all about, but let's go ahead and gawk at the standings here. LS Subaru atop the leaderboard, 200 points. Enraged Barney with 184. Leaps and bounds for Enraged Barney, picking up 2 top 3 finishes there in week number 3. Prague and the Top Gear test track for the second time this season. Did it last back in week number 1, did Enraged Barney. So 184 points puts Enraged Barney out in front of Audrex at 172, 169 there for Slipstream, 167 for Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire at 143, 136 there for Chaos Fox, Cuda 93 at 122, 120, 104 there for Patches Riley Modern Weapon, and we've got 8 other drivers on the other side. How about that? Almost fill up the entire standings here for season 54. Sure, not everybody's raced every single race, but it's been a bit since I've been able to populate almost the entire leaderboard here. No way they let Barney be in second. That's ridiculous, says Onion, too many eyes. Well, it happened. It happened in week 1. It happened in week 3. Second place overall there for Barney. There was something else I was going to call out here. Oh, yes. This is the championship point total. So this is with the drop week factored in. So we'll see what happens here tonight. We'll see what happens 1 week from tonight with the finale out at the Bernese Alps. And remember, the finale is worth times 2. 2 times the points there in race number 9. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule here just to remind you or inform you, whichever one it may be, of what we've got going on here tonight. Week number 4, September 19th. That's today. Or I suppose if you're like Subaru and you're living in the future, then September 20th. But Sebring, 13 laps in the dark. So sad to see this track not be included at launch with the new Forza Motorsport. But I guess I could say there's quite a few things I'm sad about not being in the new Forza Motorsport title at launch. But I will not get on that soapbox. 13 laps, like I just mentioned, in the dark. It's going to be a little bit dark here. Of course, it depends on which skybox we get. There is kind of a sundown skybox, which I believe counts for nighttime, so there is a chance that we may see that. In fact, as I stand in the lobby right now, stand in the lobby you're in, it does appear that we've got, well, now, never mind. It just got loaded. It just loaded up again, and it looks pretty dark. Well, nope. There's a little bit of light. Who knows? We'll see. We're going to find out here in just a moment when we get going here for qualifying, and then we'll finish out the evening in very spectacular fashion. 12 laps around the Rio de Janeiro full fictional circuit in reverse. In reverse. So they'll work through the tunnel, up the hill, and come back around through the city center. But that should be an interesting race. Race I'm not too thrilled about, which I'm still hugely in support of having Top Gear Test Track, the figure of 8, as the season 54 finale, race number 9. Not going to happen. 65 laps around the Bernese Alps Club Circuit. That's what's going to happen here 1 week from tonight. Welcome back into the broadcast booth, everybody. I hope you're having a, well, it is Tuesday. You all know what I say about Tuesdays. Tuesdays are just, they are what they are. But hopefully you had a decent one. If not, hang out here for the next couple of hours. Hope to maybe bring a smile to your face. At the very least, be able to bring to you some exciting virtual racing action, a little bit of esports as the well, I don't know. Is the term esports even really used anymore? Like, what do they call gaming competitions anymore these days? Is it just still esports? I'm not sure. I don't know. What the heck do I know? All right, so I already called out Slottles, who's there in the chat. We also have Onion with too many eyes. We've got LS Subaru, who was in there earlier. Trottin Boots is back. Welcome back, Trottin. And T-Phrase. Here we go. Qualifying is about to begin as, well, Slow Motion Fire did not give me the heads up, but that's okay. We can do without that. I am agile. I am flexible. I'm ready to change things up on a moment's notice. If you don't believe me, just watch the Honda Fan Cup on the Xbox channel from back last year when everybody disappeared from the screen and it was just me. The host and everything just disappeared. Anyway, speaking of disappearing, I'll disappear. Well, hold on. Gotta get the right title up. Gotta get the right thing going. I'm so sorry, chat. Hold on. Distracted myself. There we go. SFM Darks are going to be the one to lead them around the track coming out of turn number 5 now out through Big Bend underneath the Chevrolet signage. Thank you, Fear the Fun, Big J Bishop. I appreciate that. Thank you. In fact, I think Slow Motion Fire may not be available here today. Slow Motion Fire did post up in the FM4 Discord that got some work stuff happening and may not be present. As you can see there, yes, we actually do have a little bit of light in the sky, so we don't get the full-on dark skybox. Look at the fireworks dazzling overhead there in the distance. I'll go ahead and throw some stats there in the bottom left-hand corner for you as the drivers get around the track. And speaking of which, here comes SFM Darks. They're about halfway through, out of turn number 13, Tower, down the back straightaway. Look at that. That looks cool. You know, Forza Motorsport 7, despite its age at this point, is still a damn good-looking game. There are some things that, maybe stick out like a sore thumb, but for the most part, down the back straightaway, Olmsted straight here goes SFM Darks are between 16 and 17, coming up onto the Sunset Bend, and with the kind of the cobweb afternoon, evening look that's going on here, you don't have the sunshine blaring in your face. Now, that is something that if Sebring does in fact return in the new Forza Motorsport, it won't be there at launch, sadly. But if it does return with the full time of day spectrum and weather, they better have it where that sun is just beaming into your face, making it difficult to see into the corner, because that would be primo authenticity there. That would be absolutely perfect. They can do that, Get some, get some of that bloom. I know how much gamers love the artificial lighting bloom. All right, back here to Modern Weapon, who currently has the 8th quickest qualifying time. Back behind Modern is T-Phrase in the green Crown Victoria. And again, A700 here in Forza Motorsport 7. That is about a little bit higher than midway up on the performance index spectrum. 3,454 pounds is what these vehicles weigh. 482 foot-pounds of torque with an almost equally matched number of horsepower, 498. There goes T-Phrase, and for those of you who are uninitiated here in Forza Motorsport 7, you might think, oh my gosh, T-Phrase just drove his car right on through Modern Weapon. Well, we are in qualifying here, and the beautiful thing about qualifying virtually in gaming, or at least here in Forza Motorsport 7, all these cars out there simultaneously. We don't have to do them one by one. Let's go to Onion with Too Many Eyes. Good to see the Onion back out on the track. Trottin Boot says, is Subaru okay? Did I miss something? Is his challenge to play with one arm? Good question. No, Subaru's still playing. Subaru's racing at the top qualifying time of 2:19.867. You probably, Subaru probably just hadn't crossed the line yet. I don't know what's going on with Subaru's lights. Now, there you go. Now, there's a fun challenge. Get around the track with flickering headlamps. I don't know that that would affect anybody at all, no matter your skill level. But it's an interesting effect. It's an interesting effect. Let's go to Slipstream. Well, actually, Slipstream is not too far behind here on the Ullman Straight, with the third quickest qualifying time, at least as of right now, because the driver who has the top time, SFM Darkster, is the first one to cross the line on the first flying lap, and thus has the quickest time at the moment. Here comes LS Subaru across the line, and unable to post a quicker time. So LS Subaru must have invalidated his lap time. Right now, LS Subaru showing as having the fourth quickest qualifying time. Patches Riley, the fifth. Cuda 93, the sixth. Let's go to Cuda 93 coming out of turn number 3 into 4 and 5. Actually, already out of 4 and 5 onto Big Bend toward Hairpin, which I don't necessarily agree with the term. I guess. It's not the true hairpin, in my opinion. Trotten says there was an eerie feeling with Subaru so far back. Well, yeah, I mean, it's qualifying, so they are in a random order. However, the game sees it fit to place them on the grid. Here comes Cuda in the Sprunk machine, a livery popular or familiar to those of you with Grand Theft Auto. Or at least it should be. It's the drink of choice for San Andreans, I understand. Here comes NWR Onion in the background there. Always a cool shot. I hosted a race here at one time in the, the Radical. I don't remember the model number of the vehicle, but it was the Radical. And the way that the front end of the car would just hunker down under braking was just fantastic to watch. Lap after lap after lap. Across the line goes SFM Darks. They're going to hold on to the pole position at least for now. Now here comes the larger flock of drivers across the line, and let's see. It looks like SFM Darkster is going to hold on to pole position with a 217.2. Would this be the first time in Season 54 that a driver other than LS Subaru has secured the pole position? I think so. LS Subaru has the second quickest lap. Onion with too many eyes letting us know there in the chat that unfortunately no clean qualifying times there for the Onion. Well, Onion, if you were racing more regularly, you probably wouldn't have these issues. Just giving you a hard time, of course. Race when you can. Head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4 for all the details on what remains here this season. But of course, when the new Forza Motorsport title drops and when the FM4 crew gets underway, that's where you will that's where you'll find all the information of what's going on with the new season, the new game, which, oh my gosh, I'm probably ducking away from the Forza Motorsport scene at the right time. Again, I'm not going to get on my soapbox. SFM Darkster with that pole sitting 217.285. Congratulations there to Darkster. Modern Weapon with a 221.9. T-Phrase with a 226. That's a 220.6. Audrex at 218.5. That should be good enough for row number 3. Leave row number 3. Celtic Warrior, 221.223, 219 there for Enraged Barney, who is second overall on the leaderboard, trying to keep pace there with LS Subaru and make it interesting here in the last 2 weeks, last 3 races of the season, season 54. Cuda at a 220.6, NWR Onion 222.836. I thought you said you didn't get a clean lap. You got a clean lap. Everybody got a clean lap. There's no invalidated laps here. Liar! C&B Slipstream with a 218.338. That should be good enough for row number 2. Sharing space with... Hold on, I saw it. Well, never mind. Might be sharing space with Audrex. I thought Audrex would be in row number 3, but thanks to this table being completely unsortable, I'm just going to have to eye this as we go. 220.030 there for Patches Riley. LS Subaru with that P2 qualifying time. 218.1, a 219.442 for Fear the Fun. DeBronham with a 222.0 and a 222.999 for Midnight Rider. All 14 drivers who qualified or participated in qualifying getting a clean qualifying time. Well done, everybody. Well done. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and I'll pull those standings up again. As I know, not drivers, but viewers have been filtering in here after the broadcast got started. And as we take a look at those standings, yes, just as I had mentioned there a moment ago, Enraged Barney, second overall, 184, has 4 top 3 finishes here in Season 54. 2 of those coming last week and the other 2 in week number 1. LS Subaru, though, confidently atop the leaderboard, 200 points, and has another 100 to spare. The drop week rule in effect here in this championship point total, or tally. Audrex, 172, 169 for Slipstream, and Fear the Fun, 167. That is your top 5 here entering week number 4. Penultimate week. You got to make it happen here. Sure. Week number 5, race number 9. The points are doubled. What was the game show that was it Double Dare? Was it Family Double Dare where the show host always said something, or maybe it was Alex Trebek with Jeopardy. The points are doubled. I don't know. Either way, that's what happens 1 week from tonight in that final mini endurance event that's going to be taking place at the Beloved. It's a track that everybody has to enjoy, right? Bernese Alps. That one long overstayed its due. Like, it made its appearance. Somebody helped me out in the chat the other day in terms of when Bernese Alps showed up in the Forza Motorsport franchise. Camino Viejo disappeared from the track list so that Bernese Alps could exist. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, it looks like we have an extra driver. It looks like an additional driver. Would that be Slow Motion Fire by chance? Able to get into the lobby? I don't think it was. It was Born as Ghost. Born as Ghost, I don't think qualified, but is in the lobby for the racing action. I'm going to verify that. I am correct. How about that memory? Born as Ghost did not qualify, but will be out on the track at the backest part of the track, the caboose, or the grid, I should say. And as a reminder here, on the grid, all the drivers will wait until SFM Darkser. I know I've been calling out LS Subaru's name all throughout the season as being the driver to start the race. It will be SFM Darkser with the top qualifying time in P1, heading into turn number 1, that very high-speed left-hander as you charge through, I say the infield, but really there is no, you don't want to charge through the infield here at Sebring. It's occupied by RVs and all that. You don't want to do that. But turn number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then Big Ben shoots you back out to the outer reaches of the circuit. Then you start making your way back around what used to be this U.S. Army Air Force airfield back in the day, converted into a raceway, and each year they host the 12 Hours of Sebring. And again, kind of a shame that this track is not debuting with the launch of Forza Motorsport. I guess it can't debut, but too bad it's not there with the launch of the new Forza Motorsport title. I think it's a spectacular track. It's actually one of the tracks that has been in Forza Motorsport the longest, ever since the first game, I think, back in 2005. I'm sorry, RVs? Yes, RVs, of course. I mean, it's Florida. There's RVs all over the place in the infield. recreational vehicles, you know? You'll see them. Just pay attention as we go. And now we're going to move on to Double Jeopardy, where the points are doubled. Is that what Alex said? I don't know. For some reason, the first thing that came to my mind, even though it's a show that I have not seen in ages, was Family Double Dare. Who remembers Family Double Dare? The green slime, the orange flags, especially the one where you gotta like search for the orange flag in the nostril. Oh yeah, somebody came up with that as a challenge, physical challenge. You know what? That's what we need. That's what. You know what? I'm gonna revive my Twitch hobby, not my career, my Twitch hobby. I'm gonna host my own family of. Own version of Family Double Dare here on stream. Why does that sound familiar? Well, I mean, if you know, you know. Yeah. It was good times. Yeah, here's the thing. It was a trivia game in which everybody who's watching, it's a trivia game show in which the audience is always hoping that the family just decides to stay. Whether you know the answer to the trivia question or not, just say physical challenge. And I don't remember the host name. Dude probably hosted the entire, all the seasons of Family Double Dare and then just disappeared off the face of the earth. But yeah, it was always the worst episodes of Family Double Dare, without a doubt. We're the ones where the families just always tried to answer the question. Physical challenge. Just do the physical challenge. We want to see you get dirty. We want to see you get slimed. It wasn't even slime. They hadn't even had the slime yet at that point. It was probably like whipped cream dyed green or something like that. All right, I think we're about ready to go racing, and it's probably a good thing. 15 drivers on the grid. It'll start with SFM Darkster on pole, sharing space there in row number 1 with LS Subaru. Row number 2 is Slipstream and Audrex. Enraged Barney. Born as Ghost, what are you doing? There are only 3 streams left after today. You just wasted a subscription. I appreciate it, but man, thank you for all the support for 30 months and beyond. I'm sure you were a supporter of the broadcast as a viewer, maybe even long before the subscription, but thank you so much for the sub, and I only hope that maybe the next few streams can entertain you and make it worth the money. All right, here we go. The drivers are out on the grid, ready to rock and roll. Are y'all ready to go racing? Y'all ready for this? Here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. SFM Darkster leading them off the line. The skies are dark. The fireworks are booming overhead. And here we go into turn number 1. SFM Darkster is pulled out to the outside, out in front of LS Subaru. Single file formation for the majority of the front of the pack here into turn number 1. And it seems we've got a little bit of an incident back here. Let's go ahead and real quick, let's go to Midnight Rider. Yes, in fact, we had an issue at the start of the race here involving Onion, Midnight Rider, and Born as Ghost. Now into Big Bend they go. Let's go up to CMD Slipstream here in 4th position. And making the charge. There's a lovely camera view. I'm so glad we're zoomed in on the rocker panel. Enraged Barney back there in 5th position. Here comes Enraged Barney looking to the inside at hairpin. Turn number 7. Slipstream's going to run wide. Going to lose 1, 2, 3. Make it 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably a lot more positions. Coming out of the outer loop. Looks to come back onto the track in P11. Let's move back up the field. Here to, this is going to be P5. Fear the Fun. Trotting Boot says, exactly, the perfect time to sub. One last hurrah, I guess. I suppose so. Up to turn number 13, Tower. Fear the Fun is going to be on the back bumper here of Enraged Barney. Enraged Barney not in the typical purple and green Barney colors, but rather a looks like black, yellow, white livery there. Audrex in third. SFM Darkser now has dropped back to second position. So while Darkser was quicker during the qualifying session, LS showing the might and able to move back up front here, putting Darkser about a car and a half length back as they go down the Ullman Straight here out of Le Mans. Lap number 1. See, look, there you go. RVs everywhere. Sunset Bend. Darkser. Now here's the question. Will Darkser be able to keep up with Subaru and challenge for position here? Still plenty of racing to go in this 12-lap event. 13th lap there in the upper left. That's just a cool-down lap. Don't pay any mind to that. Back through turn number 1, where at the start of this race we had a little bit of a kerfuffle. I don't know. It's probably not a kerfuffle. Just a little bit of a car jam. A little bit of a traffic jam. Here comes Fear the Fun, still in 5th position, knocking on the rear right-hand side part of the bumper on Audrex's yellow Crown Victoria. Oh no, here comes the loading screen. Wow, that was a lengthy wait right there. A little bit of contact. Audrex into the back of Owen. Now Audrex gets the favor returned to him. It looks like maybe Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun. Well, it was the accordion effect, right? So we saw Enraged Barney maybe get on the brakes a little bit sooner than what Audrex was anticipating. Audrex gets on the brakes. Fear the Fun was not anticipating it. Gets into the back of Audrex, and off the track, Audrex goes. And if we look a little bit further back here, wow, Audrex has fallen all the way back to 11th position. Likely had to wait to get turned around. Wait for traffic before he could get turned around. And so now Audrex, fortunately with no damage, has a lot of work to do to get back up to P5, which is currently occupied by Cuda93. So while Cuda wasn't necessarily a part of the fun, I say that in air quotes there, of Audrex, Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney, Cuda is the benefactor as they go back into turn number 17 here toward the start-finish line. Celtic Warrior back there in P6. Fear the Fun up to P4. Let's go to Enraged Barney here in third. Enraged Barney able to get a little bit of separation here on Fear the Fun, and probably something that Barney's happy about. Because, yeah, Fear the Fun, as we saw, getting in the back end there of Audrex, albeit likely an accident. You don't want to be the next victim. Accident or not, you don't want to be a part of the next collision. Here comes Fear the Fun rolling right up onto the back bumper there as they come through turn number 5 and into 6. And I hear thunder. I hear me some thunder. Let's go back to the X-Adventure replay to see how that all unfolded there. And pardon the loading screen. That's just that's that lengthy loading screen that we saw. But just as this comes back, we'll see Audrex make contact with Enraged Barney right there, and then Fear the Fun. Oh, actually, there's quite a bit of separation there. It wasn't until Audrex tried to correct the vehicle. So it looks like Audrex got back onto the rear bumper of Enraged Barney a second time on the exit of Hairpin, turn number 7. Oh, and there goes Fear the Fun, running it wide here out of tower, or into tower, and that's just going to give Enraged Barney that much more separation. You got to keep them separated. So Enraged Barney in third. Here's SFM Darkster, who again qualified in the pole position unfortunately relinquished control of the race here to LS Subaru, our points leader and driver who has, oh gosh, what is it? 6 total victories here. Of the 6 races possible, 6 victories here LS Subaru has here in Season 54. So Darkster maybe going to try to put a stop to that. And I'm trying to make out the livery. Is that a Starfield livery? Or is that something different? It kind of looks like something related to Starfield. Could be completely wrong. All right, let's roll through the field here. Of course, just as I mentioned, Subaru, Darkster, 1 and 2. Then you've got Enraged Barney in 3rd. Fear the Fun holding on there in P4. Back behind them, and by a little bit of by a bit of distance. There's quite a bit of separation there between P4 of Fear the Fun and then P5 of Slipstream. I'd say about, I don't know, 5-6 seconds in total. Slipstream is leading the larger field of cars right now, from 5th all the way back to 11th position. And that includes Slipstream in P5, followed by Cuda93, Modern Weapon, Audrex, Celtic Warrior, Patches Riley in P10, and Onion in 11th. Then you've got Born as Ghost back there in 12th, DeBronham in 13th, and another loading screen. Did we lose? So I know we had a loading screen earlier, and I couldn't tell who we may have lost. Midnight Rider, I did notice on the ticker. Okay, we've got 3 drivers out. Born as Ghost, T-Phrase, and Midnight Rider. Out very early here within the first 4 laps of this 12-lap week number 4, race number 7. The loading screen is my favorite. I know. Not that there is any spectator mode available in the new Forza Motorsport when it launches. Hence the reason I won't be here with FM4 after Season 54. But if they ever bring it back, then hopefully they're able to do away with the whole loading screen situation. I mean, I don't know. It's annoying. Modern Weapon now rounding out the top 10 here. We are down to 12 vehicles. 12 of the 15 that started this race. Fortunately, those who have been running in the top 10, for the majority of it, are still out there on the track. Let's go back. Well, we're with Fear the Fun at the moment. Let's go back to SFM Darkser here, who is doing a commendable job keeping pace with LS Subaru in this battle for first position here at the early parts of lap number 5. T-Phrase says, it was very sad. I was only planning on racing Sebring tonight. Yeah, that's tough stuff. Tough stuff. A rejoin option for the new game would be cool too. I know. I'm feeling very wish listy here tonight. Appreciate you tuning in here on a Tuesday evening. I'm Dustin Moore, and you're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series, week number 4. We've got another race this evening out at Rio de Janeiro. That's always a lot of fun. I'm not a huge fan of the track, but it certainly ranks higher than the Bernese Alps for me. So don't go anywhere. About an hour and a half of racing yet to come here on X Adventure. LS Subaru, SFM Darkser through Le Mans. Turn number 16, the Ullman Straight once again. I'm actually quite fond of this skybox. I mean, this is a nighttime skybox. You got a little bit of the low clouds here in Florida. You see there in the background, you got the cobweb cloudiness, overcast skies here. And actually, that might be is that the moon? You want the moon, chat? Give you the moon? I guess it could be. It's kind of bright for it to be the moon, but Why the heck not? Enraged Barney still in third. Here the Fawn in fourth. We're starting to see a little bit of separation there from fifth on back to 10th position as Slipstream and Audrex now start to peel away from that larger crowd. Audrex, of course, as we saw about 4 laps ago, was running in P5 before got sent sideways coming out of turn number 7. And so Audrex doing their best job to work their way back up through the field. T-Phrase. Wait, did I just read no more streams after the 29th? Yeah. I was putting a lot of hope in the new Forza Motorsport title and my ability to commentate, to broadcast and commentate races just as I do today and have been doing for the last, 10 or so years ish. But there is no spectate feature, and so I was really hoping to build up the audience again here on the channel. But without that feature, I don't see that happening. Like my variety content just does not generate the traffic like the Forza content does. And sure, it's been a little bit quieter here on the Forza front the last couple of years, but then again, we've never had a Forza Motorsport title last so dang long. So, I don't know. I've got no momentum behind the broadcast, and yes, I do it for fun. It's not my day job. I'm very fortunate in that I have a day job that allows me from time to time here to hop on and stream, but just can't get the return that I'm looking for. So, you got me here tonight. On Friday evening will be the last variety gaming stream that I'll have here on the channel, and then 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X Adventure, week number 5, race number 9, the finale here of season 54. Audrex trying to move back up to P5. Audrex started this race in 4th position, so getting up to 5th probably isn't good enough. Going to be striving to get at least back to where they started, and maybe even more if Audrex can set their sights on Enraged Barney. Out of turn number 3, 4, 5 comes P5, P6. Let's go to Audrex. 6th position behind Slipstream. Trying to close in. I think we went from P5 to P. I think we had the camera on 5th, right? We had the camera on Slipstream, but let's go ahead and put it on Audrex. And in fact, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a ride around the track here with Audrex in the 2010 Crown Victoria. riding on board there with Audrex for about half the lap here out at Sebring. Pay no mind to the strobe lights. That's just a feature. Not a bug. It's a feature. Our race leader, LS Subaru, SFM Darkster in second. Darkster has trailed even further behind here over the last lap or two. And then from there, you got to look quite a ways back to find P3, Enraged Barney, still followed by Fear the Fun. So Fear the Fun managing to wrangle the consistency here over the last 10 laps, or excuse me, not 10 laps. We haven't even raced 10 laps. The last 5 or 6 laps. CMD Slipstream in 5th. Audrex, as we see right here, in 6th position as they come through turn number 9 out of Fangio. Coming up to turn 10, the sharp right-hander has you hard on the brakes, getting those brake discs glowing through Collier, turn 11. NWR Onion with too many eyes, they're in 7th position, followed by Patches, Celtic Warrior, Modern Weapon, Kuda 93, and then DeBronham on the opposite end of the track in P12. That's okay. Run your own race. Doesn't matter how quick or how slow you are. Do your thing. Out of turn number 16 comes Slipstream and Audrex. Audrex trying to get as close to the wall as possible there, hitting the apex of turn 17. Get a good, fast exit there out of the corner, back across the line, beyond the pit, or drive past the pit lane. Back up to 4th, Fear the Fun, closing in on Enraged Barney here. We've seen Fear the Fun get up onto that back bumper. And now going to drop back a little bit there with a bit of an off, kicking the cone off to the side of Big Bend. And now coming up to turn 7th for the 9th time here tonight. Right there. And going to cut through the grass. We've seen this. Fear the Fun has a tendency to flatten out these corners sometimes. What's going on there? Whiskey Canuck almost did a George Russell. Almost did a George Russell there, huh? Into Tower. Looks like Fear the Fun also opting for a Grand Theft Auto livery there. The Merryweather, right? That's a GTA reference, I believe. Beautiful thing here about the Forza Spec Racing Series is that they give you the car. They tell you the car that you're racing for the season. They tell you the upgrades that you must have applied to the vehicle. Any of the tuning options that are available based on those upgrades, you could do to your liking. You could set it up how you wish. And then they also give a theme for the entire season. Now, if you don't want to play along, that's fine. But if you'd like to, certainly making your vehicle resemble that theme, putting a livery, a paint job on there. Here comes Fear the Fun to the inside. Oh, it looked like they're going to go side by side down the front straightaway. We'll see if Fear the Fun's able to make it stick next time by. But that gives us a good variety of well, in the case of this season, I believe it's a fictional business theme. Sometimes they have real-world sponsor themes. And even if you're not good at the whole livery editor here in Forza Motorsport, they've got other participants, other drivers who are happy to lend you their services and get you a livery that that suits your desire. So not only are the drivers out here making the racing action look good and fun, but also their cars are looking good out there on the track and, of course, fun. Getting there, was looking at the driver's side of Enraged Barney. Now the passenger side, and back over to the driver's side is Fear the Fun. So a little bit of switchback action here, as Enraged Barney defending position here, trying to hold on to that top 3 spot with about 3.5 laps remaining here in this 12-lap race. I should say 2.5 laps. Making contact there is Fear the Fun. Here they come. Up to turn number 15. The right-hander. The little dogleg left into Lamar. Side by side. Enraged Barney's got the lower line there as they go through turn number 16. And Fear the Fun on the outside. It's going to have Fear the Fun with a bit more speed. And just like that, Fear the Fun now up to P3, making the pass on Enraged Barney. Out of turn number 17, nearly side by side. Enraged Barney deciding to hold off and try for it at another time, or I say that's giving credit to Enraged Barney, but maybe Fear the Fun thinking, nah, I got this. You hang tight back there. Not going to let you have your position back, at least not for now. Out of turn number 5. Up to hairpin here on lap 11. Next time by the flag stand will in fact be the white flag. Last lap is lap number 12. Our race leader is still LS Subaru. They're in front. SFM Darkster in second. Between them and third, there is a back marker. So if you think that gray dot after the second spot is our third place driver, you are mistaken. Fear the Fun here in third. Just now coming through turn 11, Collier up the tower. Enraged Barney in fourth. Slipstream in fifth. Fighting off Audrex. So while we've been watching this battle for third play out over the last few laps, we have another good one back there with Slipstream able to hold off Audrex. Again, Audrex started in fourth position in this race and lost a couple of, well, actually lost more than a couple of spots. Fell all the way back to P11 there on lap number 2 or 3 as a result of some contact from Fear the Fun. Out of Lamar, Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney, single file formation. Let's go back to fifth. Actually, we'll put the camera here on Audrex in sixth position. These two drivers also in single file formation as they come up the Sunset Bend. And across the line, the white flag has dropped for our race leader and second place, LS Subaru, SFM Darkster respectively. And now we go back to Fear the Fun here in third. Barney in fourth. Is Barney going to be able to make the pass? Surprised to see Barney falling so far back. Let's go ahead and take a look at the vehicle situation here. That's not Barney's vehicle. That's Fear the Fun's. Seeing a little bit of damage, 5% damage there for Enraged Barney. So if that's correct and not a glitch, then that's some lost horsepower there for Barney. Unlike tire degradation, 5% engine damage is going to be a little bit more noticeable in terms of performance lost, and that is probably what's caused Enraged Barney to, I say lose sight of Fear the Fun, but really, you know, compared to previous laps, the gap here is quite noticeable. Out of turn number 16, down the straightaway with just one. Oh, I'm speaking too soon. They're coming up on the corner number 14, Bishop here at the Sebring at full circuit. SFM Darkster just not going to be able to make it happen, I don't think, unless something happens. Unless something crazy happens here with Subaru in the last sector. Should be able to hold on to P1, P2 to Darkster. Fear the Fun. Playing some good defense right now. Same goes for Slipstream. We'll put our camera on those two drivers here in just a moment, but let's see. Make sure everything is looking good here up front. In fact, it is. LS Super going to pick up their 7th win here. Season 54, followed by SFM Darkster. Let's go back to Enraged Barney in 4th. Unfortunately, just not able to close that gap. Again, the engine damage may be the cause here. And as a result, Fear the Fun, who did qualify. Actually, I'd have to check that. I think Fear the Fun may have qualified 5th. But across the line they go. Fear the Fun, Enraged Barney. That'll be followed by Slipstream holding on to P5. Audrex in 6th. Let's go to Onion with Too Many Eyes. Gonna finish in 7th with Patches Riley in 8th. Great racing here in race number 7, season 54. We have one more coming up here in just a moment. We're going to be heading out to the Rio de Janeiro full circuit in reverse. Oh, that's going to be good. You don't want to miss it, folks. Do not miss it. We've got about an hour left here of racing action, and as always, when we come back, we'll talk to drivers in our driver spotlight. We'll get ready for qualifying at Rio de Janeiro. And then we'll have the, is it 12 laps? 12 laps. 12 laps around the Rio de Janeiro circuit to round out week number 4. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series here on X Adventure. I'm Dustin Moore. I'll be right back. And welcome back to X Adventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore. Race number 7 here of season 54 has come to an end. Congratulations to LS Subaru. 7th straight victory here in season 54. Has all of the wins this season. Unsurprisingly. Dustin, you're closing up the stream. You're running the ads though. What gives? Well, sorry, I ran up the stairs to. I was late to go fill up my coffee mug, and then I ran upstairs. Yeah, the ads are very much not so much for me as they are for the viewers, for those who may be joining us a little bit later on to be able to avoid those pesky pre-roll ads. And for those of you who are followers of the channel, I think it also helps in that your ad time was just used there. So as we go into the back half of this stream, hopefully you see fewer ads. And thanks again, big thanks to those of you who have subscribed to the channel. Please don't do any more subscriptions from this point forward, as the final stream here on X Adventure will be on September 29th. I don't want you to waste your subscription on a channel on a dead channel dead channel streaming. All right, so we've got our. We've got nobody in the driver's spotlight at the moment, so we'll just hang tight right here. LS Subaru getting the win. SFM Darkster, despite finishing the qualifying session in the pole position, getting the pole position out of qualifying, unable to hold on to the P1 spot there out at Sebring for 12 laps, followed by Fear the Fun, who was able to make the pass around Barney with about, 3 or 4 laps remaining. So Fear the Fun finishing P3, Barney in P4, and then Slipstream doing a very commendable job at holding off Audrex. Audrex as consistent and as strong as they come in terms of driver skill here in FM4. And Audrex, unfortunately, after the incident early on in the race, not able to get any higher than P6. All right, now I turn over to the driver's spotlight, and we've got LS Subaru in there. LS Subaru, I was just congratulating you on your 7th victory here out at Sebring. You were able to get past SFM Darkster there, I think, for the beginning of lap number 2, and the rest was history. For the 11 remaining laps, they were all yours.
Yep. Yeah, Darkster just braked a bit too late going into the hairpin, and I was able to capitalize on that and get the lead. And from that point on, it was just defending the lead from Darkster and just trying to keep a good gap from him, which ultimately ended up working out pretty well. He ended up having a problem where he broke both of his headlights, so he was driving dark for the last lap and a half, which definitely gave me the upper hand. But yeah, it was a pretty good race.
Yeah. Speaking with LS Subaru here in the driver's spotlight after race number 7. For those of you who don't know, we've mentioned it a couple times throughout the season thus far, but LS Subaru, you've been running the same tune for all 7 races that have been run up to this point, and you haven't done any practice. So how did the Crown Vic do for you here out of the track? I mean, despite the fact that you got the win, or not despite, but in light of the fact that you got the win, it seems like maybe the car did pretty well for you, but I don't know. I ask you, was it manageable? Was it good? Were the straightaways? Did you have all the power that you needed, all the tune, or all the gearing that you needed to get down those straightaways?
Yeah, the tune was pretty decent. Of course, there could be some little parts of the car that would need work, but that's part of the universal tune. So yeah, the car definitely felt alright. Yeah, it was good enough for me to keep it under control, so it was well behaved.
Okay, and now we take that tune that you have, that universal tune, here for season 54, and we take the Crown Vic out to Rio de Janeiro, the reverse circuit. It seems like we've been out to this track a couple of times here over the last few seasons. So how do you expect the Crown Vic to do?
I'm pretty optimistic about it. As I said a few weeks back, that when we did test and tune night, I think I was definitely having problems with the car bottoming out in that hard braking section with the towards the end of the lap, but uh, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for me. Yeah, so I heard that they were having problems with it in testing tonight.
Okay.
The car was bottoming out so much so that they just lost like most of their braking, and then they ended up uh hitting the walls. So
Oh wow.
hopefully they've sorted that out. So
Hopefully.
yeah, so should be an interesting race ahead.
Yeah, we may have a bit of a demolition derby if drivers' cars are bottoming out, they lose any hope of breaking their car, and then ultimately break their car in another fashion by running into each other. That, of course, shouldn't be so much of an issue here during the qualifying session because you all have to avoid and stay between the white lines. So you have to avoid I guess, the curbing sections, particularly as you're going through I guess, the city center part where there are a few chicanes that won't allow you to make those jumps here in the qualifying in order to get a clean qualifying time. But in the race itself, FM4 has always been lenient and allowed the drivers to go ahead and make those jumps over the curbing. That curbing is where maybe, I guess, the suspension could come into play if people don't have it tuned up right.
Yeah, suspension's going to definitely be a big factor for this race.
Okay.
Having the springs, and more importantly, so the dampers set up to really cushion those bumps and whatnot will definitely play a massive part in uh, car performance.
Okay. All right, Subaru, I won't hold you back any longer, except for just to ask one more question. You or Darkser here, when this qualifying session's done, who's got pole?
Uh, we'll have to see.
Oh, come on. You can't sit on the fence on this one. I guess you can. All right, Subaru, great chatting with you. Congrats on the seventh victory here in Season 54, and best of luck to you at Rio.
Thanks.
Thanks. There you go, chat. There's your cue. There's your cue for the thanks. There you go. Trotton's got it. Trotton's all over it. All right. Trotton says, man, I'm not going to have a reason to have the Twitch app downloaded after this channel goes. Well, there you go. See, I'm doing you a favor. I'm helping to clear out some used space on your phone's storage. Yeah, I wish the spectate broadcast feature was available in the new Forza Motorsport. I really was quite surprised when it was announced that that wasn't going to be a feature. I know 99.9%, and yes, I know usually that's like a proverbial number that people get, but really I understand that like most people in the Forza community, the spectate feature is a non-issue. Not having the spectate feature in the new game has no impact on them whatsoever. For me, where I have turned the corner in my enjoyment of the Forza franchise, despite having played the series all the way since its original game in 2005, I've really taken up an enjoyment, I've enjoyed taking on more of the presenter, the commentator aspect of things here for the Forza Spec series and for Tora, also the Honda Fan Cup for Xbox. But yeah, no spectate feature in the new game means that the drive, the motivation for me to have the broadcast going has just plummeted. So it's sad to say, but the way I look at it is that in all things in life, we get to a point where we say, should I keep doing this? Is it really bringing me the enjoyment? Is it really bringing me the return that I'm looking for? Whatever that may be, whatever personal goal you may have. And for me, I was just like, you know what? I could probably make use of this time elsewhere. And so as sad as it is to say that after September 29th, the channel will be dark, I certainly, for everybody here, whether you're me, whether you're a viewer, whether you're a racer in FM4, plenty of things to look forward to, I'm sure. That, this going to the wayside is not that big a deal. Not that big a deal. So It's been a lot of great times, great number of years doing this, but ready to shut it down. Shut it down. Let's go home. All right, here we go. Qualifying time out at Rio de Janeiro. 3 laps, standing start. 2 flying laps, I should say. To close things out, we'll see who has the quickest qualifying time. And yes, like I mentioned, in the qualifying, you got to get that clean lap time. So we'll see things change up as we go into the race itself, where the drivers will have a little bit more freedom to corner cut the chicanes, as you'll see here in a minute, through the downtown section, the city center section of the track. All right. They're going, and so shall we. NWR Onion, the first to lead them off the line. Here is the city section. So right here, this curbing, this is where you can make a straight line out of the circuit once we go into race mode. But for qualifying, you want that clean, validated, no exclamation mark inside the triangle time. That's what you're shooting for. Stats in the bottom left as we, an onion. There you go. That's a, that right there is an example of an invalidated lap time. Now, in addition to the chicanes there through the city center section, you also see drivers as they're coming up the hill swing it out outside the hashed area of the uphill. That right-hander, I'm trying to get to somebody who has not yet come through that section. Let's go to Celtic Warrior, and I can point it out here. Celtic Warrior in the Texaco liveried Ford Crown Vic. Right there, you see that hashed area? I know we're not getting a good camera view, but you may have noticed Celtic Warrior kept the left wheels, the driver's side of the car, in between the white lines while the right wheels were inside that hashed area. That's because the hashed area will invalidate your lap if you get 3 or more wheels in that section, into that area. So a lot of things about this track that you have to keep in mind for the qualifying session, but then for the race, not so much. Go to SFM Darkster here, coming out of the tunnel and downhill. Ooh, we've got somebody head first. That's going to be, and Darkster in there as well. Born as Ghost head first into the wall here at the final, well, not the final left-hander, the penultimate left-hander at Rio de Janeiro full circuit in reverse. So Darkster, and Darkster invalidated a lap. So now the problem there for Darkster is that this is in the last sector of lap number 1, and Darkster having to go into pit lane to make some repairs. We got Modern Weapon just kind of stagnant there at the bottom. We got cars just peppering the track. I think maybe we are restarting qualifying. That might be a thing right now, as I'm seeing drivers drop out left and right. Well, maybe not. We still have 11 vehicles getting by here. Let's, what a cruel, wretched world this is. Are we talking about the accidents? Is that what we're referring to? Yeah, it's kind of crazy, and LS Subaru might have hinted at something that our drivers are suffering from right now, which is if you don't have the suspension settings correct, they could be bottoming out their vehicle, and at that point, your vehicle really is at the mercy of physics in a way that your brakes cannot recover from. In a way that your brakes will have a negligible effect. In fact, you'll just probably hit the brakes even harder, and as a result, you'll lock up the brakes and slide into the wall. So, gosh, it seems like we've got maybe 3 cars that have already dropped out of qualifying of the 13 who started qualifying. And perhaps those drivers have already conceded that, I'm going to be at the back of the pack And I might as well jump out now and make some alterations to my vehicle's setup. That could be a possibility, as we see Audrex now coming through what was a troubling left-hander. This area right here caused problems for a few of the drivers. Born as Ghost and SFM Darkster, two of them. Now through the sweeping right-hander goes Audrex, hoping to hit a top qualifying time here, a clean and validated qualifying time. We'll see. Look at that. NWR Onion right now with the pole sitting 227.650. Well done, Onion. Audrex across the line. No top qualifying time there. So here we go. The third and final qualifying lap and the second flying lap in this session. Through the hairpin, through the city center, confetti everywhere. Through the chicanes go Audrex, trying to keep two wheels within the driving, or excuse me, within the racing, not the racing line, but within the clean portion, the acceptable portion of the track. Might have extended those track limits there. Just a few corners back, so we'll see if Audrex even has a clean lap to work with here. Nonetheless, right now, Audrex third quickest qualifying time. NWR Onion with the second LS Subaru has now achieved the pole time of 224.4. And Darkster, who I mentioned could have been competing for that top qualifying time, out of the session early. It makes me wonder if Darkster is doing some tuning in the lobby, try to get that vehicle ready for racing. It's not going to be a fun position to be in. I mean, if you have to make the adjustments to the car, you have to make the adjustments. But starting at the back of the pack on a city circuit like Rio de Janeiro is you're giving yourself quite the challenge. Not only is it, you know, not only are you hoping that you're able to get the car ready to go, churn out clean laps, and make your way through the field, but you're also betting that with some of this traffic that you're going to have to deal with, that it's not going to interfere with your race in a bad way. And by that I mean, like, you're not going to end up getting tangled up with some slower vehicles, causing damage to your vehicle, and now all of a sudden you're going into pit lane, which in a race, in races 1 through 8, the last thing you want is a pit stop. It's going to have to happen in race 9, 1 week from tonight, out at the Bernese Alps. You're going to have to go into pit lane there. You don't want to do it here in the first 8 races of a season. Onion, I'm so washed. That is your theme for the night, huh? You need a like a Tide livery or something on your car here for the remainder of season 54. All right, across the line here. I'm not sure who hasn't posted their third and final qualifying time. It might be... It's going to be Born as Ghost, so we're kind of chilling until Born as Ghost is able to come back toward the start-finish line. There might be a timer. They might have a timer in place, and once that has ticked down to 0, then our qualifying session will be over. But at least for now, put the camera on Born as Ghost, see if they're able to make it back toward the start-finish line. But yes, Modern Weapon, Darkser, and I lost who that was. Three drivers DNFing. You say you're washed there, Onion, too many eyes, but you qualified 4th. I think that's bad. All right, looks like Born as Ghost might be able to make it back to the line here. Just in time. Yes, indeed. right. Take a look at the qualifying times here in just a bit. There we go. That's what we're looking for, the return to lobby. And let's go ahead and run through the best lap for each of our drivers. NWR Onion, again, qualifying P4, a 227.6. A 227.8 there for Audrex. That might be good enough for P5. LS Subaru, 222.8. On pole, 227.4 there for Slipstream. Cuda 93 at a 231.991. 226.8 there for Enraged Barney. 229.5 for Fear the Fun. Celtic Warrior with a 228.5. A 232.5 for Patches Riley. Born as Ghost, as we saw there at the end, able to come across the line with a top qualifying time, 232.8. Or I should say top qualifying time for Born as Ghost, a 232.8. And then you've got the 3 DNFs there. Modern Weapon with a 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Of course, I think Modern Weapon was just kind of chilling on the side of the track there before jumping out of the lobby. SFM Darkser with a 236.0 dirty invalidated time. So SFM Darkser, if they do plan to race here in race number 8, going to be at the back of the pack, along with DeBronham, who finished with zeros across the board. All right, folks, here we go. Our penultimate, second to last race of Season 54, the final season in which the Forza Spec Racing Series is competing here in Forza Motorsport 7. It's insane to say, finally, after 6 years, the new Forza title is going to be coming out. FM4, while they won't be able to start Season 55 right away, will eventually get going in Season 55. So if you want to be a part of the action, and I trust me, you should. If you have raced in community-run series before, or if you haven't, the Forza Spec Racing Series, they consider themselves a beer league, and by that, they mean they come out here on Tuesday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. They race for about 2 hours, and they race for fun. You win the championship, congratulations. You get the bragging rights. You get to pick the vehicle for the next season. That's the achievement that you earn if you win a championship here in FM4. But even if you're not at that caliber and you still just want to race with real world drivers and not just the AI, but at the same time you want to race in a league that prides itself on, being competitive, has fun, but also holds drivers to the expectation that, as long as you race clean, you can come back season in, season out, well, then FM4 is the place for you. And how do I know this? They've been doing this for 10 years. All right? They're not just some brand new run-of-the-mill community league that is getting their footing. No, they've been doing this for a very, very long time, all the way since the Forza Motorsport 4 title, like 10 years ago. So definitely worth checking out. At the very least, you should pop into their subreddit, say hi. If you have any interest in participating with the new Forza Motorsport title, just let them know. I have a feeling with the new title coming out, they will be back to their full lobby status. They had full lobby here at the beginning of Forza Motorsport 7, and now that the game is about 6-7 years old, they've lost a little bit of that traction, but the community will be reinvigorated. There will be people who are interested in racing in these community series, especially one as mature and as established as FM4. And so it'll come to a point where it's like a first come, first served basis. And so the sooner that you can get in there and express your interest, and of course, as soon as they get registration going for season 55, raise your hand. Say you want to be a part of the action, even if you can't be there for the entirety of the season. If you have to miss a few races here or there, if you got priorities happening in the real world, which you should definitely be focused on, that's okay. They have that flexibility. Certainly do. What's going on, Underdog Racing? How you doing tonight? Will we be seeing you on the subreddit? Do you think? You talking about me? I will be on the subreddit. I'm not racing, but You'll definitely find the drivers of FM4 there, for sure. All right, we've got 14 drivers, so it seems like a driver, and I think that was T-Phrase, because T-Phrase had mentioned he only planned to be racing out at Sebring before he got a DNF. So 13 drivers. So we've even lost another. We have Audrex, Darkster, Subaru, Patches Riley, Slipstream, Enraged Barney, Fear the Fun, Kuda93, Celtic Warrior, DeBronham, Modern Weapon, Onion with Too Many Eyes, and Born as Ghost. I think that's Midnight Rider we are missing. So Midnight Rider, key phrase, would be the two drivers here from earlier on in the broadcast, early on in the racing, that we will not have on the track this time around. Underdog Racing says, work schedule has changed. Might make an appearance in a future series if there's room. Okay, yeah, Colossal. That's right. Hey, Colossal, how's it going? Somebody's got to get out here and have give Subaru a run for his money. I mean, Darkster did a fantastic job out at Sebring. We'll see how Darkster fares here out at Rio de Janeiro. It's going to be quite tricky. They're going to be at the back of the pack, as Darkster was unable to complete the qualifying session with a clean, validated lap time. So, yeah, Colossal, hope to... If somebody hopes to see you, I won't be able to see you because there is no spectate mode in the new Forza title, but hopefully you are able to take part in FM4 moving forward. I'm the slow Australian. Somebody else has to take Subaru down. That's the challenge. That's the challenge for the viewers. If you think you got what it takes, you want to try to take on LS Subaru, then by all means. That's the beauty here of FM4 is they've got drivers of all different skill levels. So even if Subaru is a bit out of reach for you, which no surprise, as a driver who has won what will be, I believe, 12 consecutive championships here. It's insane what Subaru has done here in FM4. Even if Subaru is not your competitor out on the track, certainly you will find somebody of a similar skill level as you, and get out here and just make it a goal of yours. Make it a challenge to better than them. And who knows, the next time you do get better than them and you take on the next driver, and before you know it, you're up in the top 10, top 5. That's the challenge. That's the fun of it all. All right, here we go. Big J Bishop letting us know there in the chat that we're ready to rock and roll. Trotton says, Barney has been trying to get me into Forza. I'm nervous because I don't want to beat Subaru too. Exactly. You know, that's the burden that you face as a newcomer to FM4 is you don't want to embarrass Subaru. All right, the motors are revving here. The 498 horsepower of the Crown Victorias. Kick the tires, light the fires, folks. Race number 8 here of season 54 is underway. LS Subaru, our 7-time winner here in season 54, having won all the races, trying to go 8-4-8 here at Rio de Janeiro, bringing them up to the, as you see, we've got the stone, well, it's not marble, but the stone surface coming out of the asphalt here as they go through the city center of Rio de Janeiro. A little bit of bouncing off the walls there is, gosh, who was that? I can't tell, but now they'll go over those curbs where there once were tire barriers there during qualifying session. Now those barriers have been tossed out of the way, and they're making jumps over those, which, as LS Subaru told us before the qualifying session, if you don't have your tuning set up right, your suspension can bottom out, and that causes all kinds of problems, which may be the very problems that we saw a few drivers face there in qualifying, to include SFM Darkster, who started at the back of the pack. In fact, let's go to SFM Darkster, who has found their way up to P8. P8 at this point. Now challenging Audrex for 7th position on the outside here at the top of the hill. And just like that, Darkster now up to 7th with Fear the Fun out ahead in P6. Down the hill they'll go. over the trolley tracks. There you see, kind of in the center of the road. They really don't have, I have not noticed the trolley tracks having any effect on the steering, the handling of any vehicle. Here in Forza Motorsport 7, they're there for looks only. Down the hill they'll go with SFM Darkser still hanging out there in 7th, having made a pass around Audrex. A little bit of go there to the inside of Fear the Fun. They make contact. And side by side, it's going to be Darkser, who's going to be on the inside line, coming up here to the left-hander to the start-finish line. Fear the Fun on the outside. They continue to make contact. And it looks like we've got side-by-side action here. Patches Riley and Kuda93 in the battle for 4th. Kuda moves up to P4. Patches in P5. And it looks like Darkser has secured P6. Let's see what happens here as they hit the brakes. Look at Fear the Fun coming to the inside. Although Fear the Fun really having to slow it down on that approach. And as such, Darkser is able to hold on to P6. And now as they come through, and there goes Darkser. I'm not sure what created the spin, but Darkser's Crown Vic goes spinning there off of that first set of curbs. The chicane coming out of the city center, going toward the uphill portion of the track, and just like that, Fear the Fun able to move back up to P5, and now, very quickly here, challenging Patches Riley to the inside, able to make the pass, and just like that, within a matter of about 5-6 seconds, Fear the Fun has gone from 7th, check that, from 6th on up to 4th. I really can't be sure what happened to Darkser there. LS Subaru is our race leader, followed by Slipstream in 2nd, Kuda in 3rd, Fear the Fun in 4th, Patches Riley in 5th, Born as Ghost is 6th as they come back down the hill, at least our top 5 do. DeBronham in 7th, Celtic Warrior in 8th, Modern Weapon and Audrex 9 and 10 respectively. Enraged Barney is kind of at a, Enraged Barney, I think, went head first into the wall coming up the hill, and that car might just be completely dead in the water. Take a look at the stats here. Well, yeah, actually, indeed it is. 100% steering, engine, clutch, and driveline. That's not good for Enraged Barney, who came into week number 4. Second overall on the leaderboard. Now, of course, with the drop week rule in effect, this may not have a huge impact on Enraged Barney, but then that means that Barney's going to need an immaculate week number 5, race number 9, 1 week from tonight, to hold on to that second position on the leaderboard. Fear the Fun kind of sliding it out here of turn number 1. Yeah, so many DNFs this race and the last race. Yeah, it's Darkser has opted out of the race, and Onion is out as well. So two very competitive drivers here. And gosh, was that Fear the Fun? Fear the Fun just cruised on past Kuda93 for 3rd. Enraged Barney coming up the hill. So Enraged Barney gonna try to get back to pit lane. I mean, kudos to Enraged Barney. I always tell the drivers, you know, get out here and run the race. And even if that means that you're just having an abysmal run, just see the race through to the checkers, because finishing the race is better than DNFing. The DNF is only going to net you 3 points. But if Barney finishes this race in 11th position, don't ask me how many points that is. I can tell you it's a lot more points than 3, though. Let's go back to the spin out there by Darkser here. Again, I'm not sure what happened. Let's see if I can't spot it. Darkser cut on over and perhaps made contact with the wall. I am not certain what the issue was there. See him do Slipstream out of the sharp left-hander on a racing island here. Let's go ahead and put the camera on Slipstream. No damage to that vehicle. So, yeah, Slipstream just cruising at this point, seeing if they can't catch up to Subaru in P1 and try to keep the gap between them and Fear the Fun in P3. Patches Riley now up to P4 with Kuda dropping back to P5. Born as Ghost in 6th. Celtic Warrior in 7th. Modern Weapon in 8th. Audrex in 9th. And DeBronum in 10th. And so while LS Subaru has season 54 in the bag, going to pick up another championship, it's a great opportunity for drivers who may find themselves a little bit further down the overall leaderboard to recoup some points. And we've got Kuda 93 into pit lane. So that would explain why Kuda 93 just so easily gave up P3 there to Fear the Fun. Obviously, must have had some damage there at the beginning of lap number 3. Let's go to Patches here in 4th, chasing down, or trying to chase down Fear the Fun. Underdog Racing says, is the Forza Spec series going to be moving to the new Forza when it releases? Not necessarily at release. At some point after. So here's the challenge that not only does the Forza Spec Racing series face, but basically any racing league that wishes to get started in the new title. Whereas in the past, really the only hurdle was allowing drivers to get in, earn some credits, be able to buy some vehicles. It's a little bit more involved with the new title. The drivers are going to have to upgrade their vehicle in addition to acquiring a vehicle, because there are vehicle levels, and achieving certain levels will open up new upgrades. I can't say that I'm a fan of the new system. Hence, for the first time in 20 years, I am not going to be playing the new Forza game. I'm not. I don't want to do the grind. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. Done. Call me a casual, that's fine. I just, I have no interest. I have no interest in upgrading individual vehicles. And apparently, if you buy one car and upgrade it, let's just take the Crown. Let's assume, I don't think the Crown Vic is in the new title, hence the reason they're racing it here in Season 54. 54, it's a vehicle that's not moving on to the new Forza Motorsport, and these tracks that they're racing at are tracks that are not going to appear in the new Forza Motorsport at launch. So let's just take the Crown Vic as an example. You buy one Crown Vic in the new Forza title. This is a hypothetical. And you level it up. But then say you want to purchase another Crown Vic with a different setup. You got a whole different idea. Oh, and into the wall! Was that Slipstream? No, that's not. It's not Slipstream. That is Fear the Fun. Face first into the wall here on lap number 5. Look out, you got some traffic coming up, and now Celtic Warrior moves up to P4. And there in 6th, that is going to be Born as Ghost. Oh, Born as Ghost is going to help out here. It looks like, well, one may call it help. Born as Ghost looks like is going to lend a hand to Fear the Fun, try to push him up the hill. Oh gosh, I think I goofed up the track map. There we go. Yeah, Rio de Janeiro here in its last appearance in the Forza Spec Racing Series is claiming victims. Let's go ahead and put the camera here on Slipstream, who I said was on a racing island a couple of laps ago. Now really all on their lonesome. I guess if it's any consolation, well, Slipstream doesn't care. You can have a car out in front of you or not. I don't think it matters. It's trying to catch up to P1 is the goal that Slipstream has in mind. But there was a back marker there. The back marker going into pit lane. Patches Riley up to P3. Celtic Warrior in 4th. Kuda in 5th. With Audrex in 6th. Yeah, another one. Another one. Let's go take a look at that incident there. You see on the left-hand side, the replay as they go through the city center section, through the chicane, and then here comes Fear the Fun in the exit, the right-hander to go up the hill. Boom, right there. Face first into the concrete barrier. Underdog Racing says, I hope that running the game through Steam has less connection issues too. I was meant to be on the Polaris series a while back, but had to bow out due to constant connection issues. It's not having the game on Steam versus having it on the Microsoft Store is not going to change it's not going to improve, nor will it degrade your connection quality. The game, while available on Steam, is still going to run through the Forza launcher and is still only going to be connecting to the Turn 10 servers. There's not going to be there won't be a separate set of servers for Steam, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, it's just whatever the quality of the service you have, and then your of course your geographical location to the nearest server will play a role as well. But yeah, it's all run through Turn 10 servers, and Steam is not going to get you a better connection. But hey, maybe the new game will have improved server quality, server handling. I don't know. Got another vehicle. That's going to be Born as Ghost there. Born as Ghost, who was helping out Fear the Fun to get back up the hill, now finds themselves parked off onto the right-hand side of that sharp left-hander at the bottom of the hill here at Rio. Ah, lagging so bad there was no point. Gotcha. Yeah, this race has been something. Something what? I don't know, but something wicked, I guess, is probably a good way to describe it. It's even the best of drivers here in FM4 have found this one, and the not only the track, but probably the track car combination. LS Subaru warning us of the dangers of not having a good suspension setup on this one. Might have factored into some of the issues we've seen out here today. Let's go to Patches Riley in 3rd. Thanks for hanging out with me, folks. Just one more race here in Season 54 and my time with the Forza Spec Racing Series. It's been a fun season. I tell you what, that week number 3, 1 week ago, with that Top Gear Test Track figure of 8, that was something memorable there. That was good. That was fun times. Again, I only wish that were the finale. But it's been a very enjoyable experience. I couldn't have imagined that when I started doing this for the Forza Spec Racing Series that all 5 years in which I've been commentating here would be spent in Forza Motorsport 7. I thought for sure we'd have a new title much sooner. But it just wasn't in the cards, and sadly the new title is not going to launch with a spectate feature, so alas, my time here with FM4 coming to a close. We still have one more race left. 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Bernese Alps. The FM4 series taking all the tracks that will not be launching with the new Forza Motorsport and making an entire season out of them. Some tracks sad to see leave, like that of Sebring we were just at 1 race ago. Others, well, I say I am not sad to see them go. I won't be here for any of the tracks, no matter what. But the Bernese Alps, like that one could have gone a lot sooner, and wouldn't have hurt my feelings at all. Enraged Barney here closing in on Patch's rally, trying to recoup a lap. So the field has really spread itself thin here. We've lost a few drivers along the way, but about 3.5 laps remaining. We'll make the most of it. Audrex back in 6th position. That's where Audrex finished out at Sebring, was in P6. Trying to close in on Kuda 93 here and see if he can't get a top 5 here in week number 4. Slottle says, I wish we could have had another race in the figure 8, but with a full lot. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's amazing when you tell drivers that, hey, you know, we're going to go to the figure 8. We're going to go to the test track. And while that opens up the opportunity for some carnage, let's race it as clean as can be. On the outer loops, be mindful of the track limits. Don't be pushing and shoving other drivers. Run a clean race, but when it comes to the intersection, just pretend like there's no oncoming traffic. And while that does present itself with its share of crashes we saw in week number 3, and of course you can watch that back in its entirety here. The video on demand available in the video section of this channel, and also the recording available over on my YouTube, which you could find right there. It was a very well run, very, I'll say, clean race, considering the figure of 8 nature of it. Yeah, I hosted, for those of you who may recall, very early on in Forza Motorsport, I hosted quite a few races. That's really where I got started here in this whole broadcasting, spectating thing. Was I was hosting my own races, and had quite a bit of viewers and racers, I should say. And every once in a while, as a kind of a celebratory send-off of a season, we would throw a Top Gear test track event into the mix and just have fun. And oh, they were fun. Yes, they were. Subaru, our race leader, trying to go 8 for 8 here in season 54. Slipstream in 2nd, Patches in 3rd, Celtic Warrior in 4th, Kuda and Audrex. I say it's the closest battle. As you can see here, Celtic has, well, no, it's Kuda and Audrex that have the battle for 5th. Celtic kind of on their own, a back marker within view, but here it is, Audrex in 6th, still trying to chase down Kuda 93, getting a little bit loose there on the uphill section as you unload the suspension there at the top of the hill, making that left-hander. Modern Weapon in 7th, the Bronham in 8th, Fear the Fun back in 9th position after having had a big-time collision with the wall while running in either 3rd or 4th. Enraged Barney in 10th. Born as Ghost in 11th. We've lost 3 drivers, I believe, here in race number 8. I'm just now realizing we have like this perpetual helicopter sound effect going. The helicopter can be heard everywhere. Chopping away in my ear. Comes Audrex around the right-hander into the left-hander. Got a vehicle into, is that pit lane, or are they parked off to the, looks like Enraged Barney back into pit lane here. Or I believe, at the very least, the second time tonight in this race. Slipstream able to get around to Branham without any issue. Lap number 10 here of 11. Well, it was supposed to be it was supposed to be a 12-lap race, and they've set it to 12 laps. So I'm not sure where this one's actually going to end. They typically leave a lap open because of how they have things set up here in the lobby. They don't actually end the race on the final lap that the lobby is set to. They usually have a buffer of 1 lap, so this might actually be the end. At the end of lap 11. LS Subaru, I'm just going to assume LS Subaru has claimed the white flag. They might be thinking right now that the race has already claimed so many drivers. Everybody's so spread apart that that they're just going to end it here at the end of 11. Oh no, Audrex it looks like. Now with damage to the vehicle very slowly. Yes. Oh, so much damage. Here comes Enraged Barney to make a helping hand of the situation. I think everybody's going to come out of this race thinking, oh man, thankfully that's over. Let's go ahead and LS Subaru. Seeing the situation as it is, let's go ahead and give our, what will soon to be our Season 54 champion, and the driver who has just dominated the last 12 seasons, undeniably, undoubtedly. Give Subaru a little bit of camera time here. Just a rough race all around. Of course, no issue here for Subaru, who's just cruising. Got a back marker coming up here on the exit. Actually, make that 2 back markers. It's going to be Enraged Barney pushing Audrex down the hill. As you can see, Audrex working up a little bit of speed. Audrex like a soapbox derby vehicle at this point. Here we go. Here we go. Just using all the momentum possible to get down the hill, and now here comes Enraged Barney to help out where he can. I swear this was a 12-lap race, but yeah, I think this is going to be it. LS Subaru across the line, presumably with the checkers. It looks like Subaru is still going. Yeah, he is. Nope. I'm going to park it here at the top of the horseshoe. All right, so with the confetti. Subaru going to finish in P1, Slipstream in 2nd, Patches in 3rd, Celtic Warrior in 4th, Cuda 93 in 5th. This has been something. Every once in a while, we have races like this. Every once in a while, they just kind of go off the rails. Things don't quite happen the way that most of the drivers had hoped. And then by the time they get to the checkered flag, they're just like, thank goodness. Thanks, Rio de Janeiro. That's one way to go into the final race of the season here, 1 week from tonight. Looks like the Branham finishing in 8th. Beer in 9th. Barney in 10th. And that's it. 12 drivers of the 14, I believe it was, who started this race, able to come away and finish, I guess, in a way. Some say nobody really even finished this race. It was supposed to be 12 laps. We're done at 11. All right, folks, you know the drill. We'll run some ads here real quick. That way I can just kind of come to my senses in terms of what happened there. We'll talk to drivers here in the driver's spotlight. We'll preview the finale happening here 1 week from tonight. It's the final season of the Forza Spec series in Forza Motorsport 7. I'll also talk to you about what's to come here in the remaining, not even a handful of streams. We've just got three to go over the next week and a half. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series, Season 54, here on X Adventure. I'm Dustin Moore, and I'll be right back. Hello, folks. Welcome back to X Adventure here live on Twitch TV. We've wrapped up week number 4 of the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 54. Yeah, for every exciting race like the Top Gear test track that we had last week, week number 3, you get an event that maybe is a bit lackluster. Rio de Janeiro certainly. It seems like quite a few drivers not prepared for that one, didn't go the way they had planned, and as a result, not only did the race end early, but we had several drivers that bowed out, and of course, some of our top drivers that we normally see at the front of the pack at the back of the pack. Speaking of drivers who had to bow out, let's go ahead and go over to our driver's spotlight onion.
How's it going?
What, bad to the bone? You get intro music? Nobody's had intro music here before.
I get intro music.
You get intro music. All right, well.
I get intro music.
Well, if you had exit music for race number 8 here in season 54 out at Rio de Janeiro, because you bounced out of the lobby there early, what would the exit music be?
It'd be that wah 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 sound effect or something along those lines.
A little Price is Right.
Yeah, something like that.
What happened there? You had a pretty good showing there in race number 7 out at Sebring. You finished P7. This one you qualified P4. You said, "Oh, I'm washed," but P4 qualifying not bad at all. But the race itself, a whole different story.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got into somebody or somebody got into me, but I ended up in that wall right before the uphill.
Yeah.
On lap 1, and I just did not think there was a point in continuing, so backed out. Went and ate some food in the meantime.
Go get some grub and quote unquote enjoy the race from the sidelines. I guess that was an insane. I mean, I think apart from LS Subaru and maybe even Slipstream, everybody else struggling there. Those two perhaps with a flawless finish, but man, that was crazy. Do you chalk some of that up? I know you said you got kind of tangled up with another car out there, but was the vehicle set up for you here in the Crown Vic maybe part of the problem too? I mean, you qualified P4, so I think maybe not, but I don't know. Did the car do what you needed it to do?
Yeah, I haven't driven a lot of this car, but so far I'm not really meshing with the build.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of braking power, and it seems a little bit unsettled, where the balance is changing back and forth throughout the corner.
Okay.
I'm not skilled enough to tune that out, so I've just kind of been dealing with it.
Yeah. Which makes it all the more crazy that LS Subaru, who's got like one universal tune that he's using for the entire season, has been able to take all of these things into account for all 9 races. It really is pretty bonkers. What inspired you to jump out onto the track here tonight?
Nothing better to do on Tuesday night. Yeah, I've been like super busy for the last couple seasons, so I haven't had the chance to come out. And I said it in your Twitch chat last week, that I didn't like the tracks this season, and sure enough, I come here. Sebring is one of the tracks that I'm the worst at.
Really?
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Huh.
And Rio is fantastic when you run it in the right direction.
We were running the reverse. Today. Yeah. Okay. Talking with I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it is what it is.
It is what it is. How many times I say to the viewers, come out here and run your race. If things don't go as planned, no biggie. You've got another week to look forward to, and if you run out of weeks in a single season, well, then you've got the next season to look forward to. So there's going to be good races. There are going to be bad races. It actually kind of surprises me that you say that Sebring isn't one of your top tracks. It's been in the Forza franchise, again, I think since the very first title. So I would have thought that most people have had that familiarity by now. But that one being problematic, I guess in a season that is built with tracks that are seeing themselves out of the franchise. When the new title releases here at the beginning of October, none of these tracks will be making an appearance at launch. I guess there will be some fond and not so fond farewells to a few of them. What track would you have preferred to race the Crown Vic at if you had your choice?
Oh God, I don't know. Road America would probably be
Ooh.
fun.
Ooh, yeah. Road
Um,
America, I think, was like one of the first, apart from Mazda Raceway, because that was like the hero track for the new Forza Motorsport announcement. I think Road America was like the second real world track that they announced for the new title.
yeah, possibly. I've not been really paying attention.
Yeah.
Long Beach could have been fun in these cars as well.
Long Beach, okay. Yeah, I don't think Long Beach is returning, so that would have been an interesting one to see used here in season 54. Long Beach, really? So a city circuit unlike, well, you apparently do like Rio when it's run in its non-reverse configuration. So do you have like
Yeah.
an affinity for city circuits?
I don't know.
Certainly
I
Long
don't know.
Beach, though, huh?
Long Beach is a good fun circuit.
Yeah.
I've had some quite fun races there in the past.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen or experienced a bad race at Long Beach. It can be kind of claustrophobic there. A little bit less room to work with on the sides at that circuit, but usually lends itself to some pretty fun, competitive, and eventful racing. So I can agree with you there. But unfortunately, just not playing out for you the way that you, or I think for the majority of the field, would like here in race number 8. But sometimes that's just the way it is. Onion, with your appearance here in week number 4, I'll ask you the question. Do you have any shout outs before we wrap things up tonight?
Shout out to the Blue Jays. They won tonight.
Oh, go Blue Jays, huh?
Not really.
No, not.
I've been watching the ball game the whole night as well.
Are they
So
in
I've
the
been a little
running? Are they in
distracted.
the playoffs? I don't remember where the Blue Jays stand.
They're like in the wild card race right now.
Okay.
But they're also kind of bad. So we'll see.
Kind of bad, but good enough to be in the playoff run, huh? With Bo Bichette, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. try to make a run here in the wild card. Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Blue Jays. We've not had anybody shout out a baseball team, a Major League Baseball team here. Of all the broadcasts I've done for FM4, that's never happened.
What do you want me to shout out? That's what I've been doing.
Well, that's why I said when you made your appearance here.
I watched more baseball than I did racing today.
Well, tell us. I say inquiring minds want to know. It may be just my mind, but what did you have to eat when you stepped away from the race?
I just got some chips and salsa. Nothing too
chips
fancy.
And salsa. Okay. Spicy or just kind of like mild or medium?
Whatever I had in my fridge.
Slottle says in the chat.
I think it's medium.
Shout out to the Blue Jays?
Yeah. Do you want me to shout out the Yankees? They lost.
No, don't shout out the Yankees. Whatever you do, even if you're a fan, don't shout out the Yankees. We don't need that here. All right, well, Onion, hey, appreciate you joining us out on the track, and then, of course, in the pit lane, the lobby, the chat, as the pit lane as I refer to it, the chat as everybody else refers to it here on Twitch. Are you going to be out here for the final race of the season, or was this it? Was this your one and only appearance here in season 54?
I'll flip a coin at 3 p.m. on next Tuesday. If it's heads, I'll race. If it's tails, I won't.
I'll say you're pretty non-committal for somebody who's got bad to the bone entrance music here.
Yeah, well, you know.
A little bit of flair on the stepping into the driver's spotlight. Fair enough. Well, hey, Onion, good.
You got to.
What's that?
you gotta have a little bit of flair with it.
Yeah, you gotta have
Can't
some
just,
fun with
like-
it. You've accomplished two things that nobody else has done in the 5 years that I've been commentating here. You came in with intro music and you shouted out a Major League Baseball team. I like it. I'll take it as achievements of the stream here is getting some fun driver spotlight convo going.
The reason I get intro music, it's just because I'm built different.
You did warn me in the chat that I wasn't ready for this, and I guess maybe
You
that
weren't.
was the this.
You weren't ready for it, Dustin.
I wasn't. You definitely surprised me. All right, Onion, good chatting with you. We'll see what the coin tells you in terms of racing here in race number 9, the final week of the season. Not best of luck to you, but enjoy the rest of the week.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for streaming and all the broadcasting you do. You do a fantastic job.
You betcha. All right, let's go ahead and bring into the driver spotlight now. We've got Enraged Barney. Man, this was kind of an interesting night for you. I'd say that entering week number 4, second overall on the leaderboard, having picked up 2 top 3 finishes there in week number 3, same for week number 1. Kind of took a turn for the worse here in week number 4.
Yeah, it was a bit odd. I mean, the first race was okay. I was looking at a third place finish. So I got the engine damage towards the end of the race and let fear go by. So I wouldn't have been mad at fourth. And I had the pace for second at Rio, but I hit the curb a bit wrong and it pushed me out wide into that wall. And it kind of ruined the race, especially since I couldn't get up the hill for like 3 laps. So
yeah, that one was just a pretty much from like lap 3 onward was just like, oh, this is how this is gonna go. Okay. You mentioned the engine damage out at Sebring. We took a look at your vehicle situation and we noted the 5% engine damage, and so you confirming that explains why you were unable to catch back up with Fear the Fun after relinquishing P3. Tell us, though, a little bit earlier on in that race when you were running in, was it P3 or P4, you had Audrex on your back bumper. It looked like as you went into turn 7, hairpin out there at Sebring, Audrex was maybe a little bit harder on the brakes than, or I take that back. Maybe you were a little bit harder on the brakes than Audrex anticipated. Audrex got into the back of you. Fear the Fun gets into the back of Audrex. Audrex on the exit of hairpin, turn number 7 at Sebring, gets inadvertently spun out by Fear the Fun. And then that's how, of course, the challenge or the battle between you two came to fruition. But it was quite the rubbing his racing experience there early on at Sebring.
yeah, it was a bit odd. I think I went way too early on the brakes into the hairpin, and I thought I had a bit more room on the inside, but Audrix was right where I didn't expect him to be. He spun me sideways. I'm surprised I didn't spin out completely. I barely held on. I had to shift it down to first to keep the car, keep the momentum going. But then, for like 1 second he was there. I start driving off. I look behind me and it's just Fear. And I was like, Fear, what happened? He was like, oh yeah, I just spun Audrix. I was like, Fear, this is why everyone blames you.
Yeah, they call you Blame Barney, but we should have a Blame Fear gamer tag for Big J.
I mean, Blame Fear started before I was even here. I think I became Fear Junior in a way.
Gotcha. That's sad. That's a sad nomer to pick up, or not nomer. It could be a misnomer, but it's a sad title to pick up, I suppose. The whole what were you called? What else are you called? The Rain God, or the Rain something rather, because of the affinity for Suzuka and the Rain.
Rainmaster,
Rain
24
Master.
hours a Daytona champion, 24 hours a Le Mans champion. I go by many names.
There you go. Okay. Hey, yeah. You get one bad one, so what? Blame Barney. Big deal. It's replaced with something bigger and better. Slotto says here in the chat, the biggest betrayal of the day was Barney not being in purple. That's what led to his downfall. There you go.
I mean, I've ran purple liveries before, and it hasn't worked out for me. I think the most recent time was either in the Miatas or the RX3s. I don't think either of those races went very well for me.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't know. I think that's all psychological. You might be putting too much on the change of livery. The color makeup of the livery there, Slottles. Finishing in fourth, just behind Fear there at Sebring, is not too shabby. What caused the engine damage? Why did you pick up the 5% damage there, less than halfway through the race, or more
Dude,
than halfway through the race?
it's a really dumb reason. I kept money shifting it on the straights. For some reason I rest my finger on the downshift button
Yeah.
whenever I'm about to like go into a braking zone. I'll just accidentally put my finger that down too hard, and it'll just go from sixth down to fifth. And that kills the engine. It hates it.
Wait, no clutch damage though, huh?
No, I was running no clutch for this car because
Okay.
it's just faster.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, Speaking of the vehicle, all-wheel drive. Here we are, 8 races into the season, going into the finale 1 week from today. All in all, as we say farewell to Forza Motorsport 7, are you glad that this vehicle is not moving on to the new title, or were you hoping that the Crown Vic Police Interceptor would be in the new Forza?
I didn't realize it wasn't going to Motorsport 8. I thought it was one of the cars that fall over. I mean, it's usually one of the fan favorites when it comes to a beater. So I mean, I guess there's a little bit of sadness not seeing this car, but at the same time, it's not one I'll miss. I mean, I hardly ever use this thing, so I don't think there's too much to miss with this car being gone.
I'm gonna try to confirm. I might be misspeaking. Maybe it is. I mean, the whole reason for the Crown Vic was that it was a vehicle that the participants of FM4 here coming into the season had picked as one vehicle that they would like to race before moving on to the new title. That doesn't necessarily mean that the car itself is not moving on. So I might be misspeaking there in terms of that, or maybe not. Maybe it isn't going to be there. I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look a little bit later. I can't find anything quickly that would confirm or deny my report as far as the police interceptor in the new title. Uh, what else is there to say? Maybe there isn't. Well, I guess I'll ask this. You probably know better than I. I'd have to go back and see how things went for you in week number 2. But is this going to end up being your drop week here, week number 4?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be the drop week. I mean, as week two wasn't as great as I hoped for it to be, I still got 80 points that week. And this week, I think I only ended up with what is it here? What is it, 70? I
Mm,
think 71 ish, somewhere around there. So it's definitely gonna be the drop week.
yeah,
A little bit upsetting.
a little bit, a little bit. I like the fact that you stayed out there though, so that you maximized how many points you got despite finishing last, because that's better than getting the DNF points.
Well, I'm just not a quitter like a certain onion is. So
Oh, okay. Throw it. We'll see what kind of fun that gets us here in the chat. I like it. I like it. All right, Barney, what shout outs you got here tonight before we go into the finale next Tuesday?
of course, shout out to Slottles and Boots as per usual, and shout out to the wall I ran into at Rio.
Yeah, shout outs to the walls. Yeah.
They made it interesting.
Or not interesting. It would have been more interesting to see you up at the front of the field where you normally are, but okay, fine. You want to shout at the
Um,
wall.
well, I mean, I would have been lonely the entire time then. I think I'd have been too slow to beat Subaru or too fast to beat Slip. So
Yeah. Okay. All right, Barney. They're giving you all kinds of grief there in the chat, so I'll let you go sort that out with them outside the driver's spotlight. But good talking with you, and we'll see you here in the finale in a week.
I'll see you then.
All right. Big J Bishop, Fear the Fun, thank you so much for the subscription. I don't know why you're doing it, as we are. Well, hold on. Let me pull you into the chat here real quick. I know Subaru, you were in there before Fear, but Fear just subscribed for whatever reason. I'm not sure. Fear, thank you so much for the sub, despite the fact that the stream only has 3 broadcasts left. Your message that Barney is a phony. The problem is you weren't even able to spell Barney correctly, so Baney is a phony. Welcome into the broadcast booth. We're in the driver's spotlight. Good on you, though, in terms of your driving was better than your spelling. You got P3 out there at Sebring, and then you were able to follow that up with a not-so-stellar P9.
Wait.
What?
What do you mean you have 3 streams left?
I've made this very clear, and in the title of the in the title of the channel, it says that the final stream is on the 29th.
Do you think this is okay?
I've accepted it.
Do you think you could just drop this bombshell on us?
On who?
Or on me? This is unacceptable.
I feel like you know. I feel like you knew, but you just.
I absolutely did not know. But now that I know, I was like, well, what do you mean?
Now that you know, you got to go contact Twitch to get your subscription refund.
No, I don't want a refund. I want you to be here. What are you talking about, refund?
There's no reason for me to be here. There's no more spectating. All the aspirations I had for the broadcast. I'm not going to go over this again for the umpteenth time. I get it. You've been racing, so you haven't had the same maybe the same info as everybody else, but it's there in the title of the chat. I've been saying it since basically the beginning of the month, letting everybody know that, hey, if you've got a subscription for the month, then just let that be your last one. So, yeah, I don't know.
You think I'm going to take this information while sitting down, Dustin? This is not how this works.
You could stand, you could sit down, you could lie down. Whatever you're doing.
We are not quitters, Dustin. We do not give up.
I'm not. It's not quit. I've been. You're making me get into this again, where I've been commentating for FM4 for 5 years, so it's far from quitting, and I've been broadcasting for close to 12 years at this point. So it's not quitting. It's more like a retirement from the hobby.
You can't retire from hobbies. That's why they're hobbies.
Okay, well, it's a hobby no more in 3 streams. So retired, quit, done, whatever you want to call it.
Unacceptable.
I have a very important interview to be had with LS Subaru, and you're making me go through this conversation.
I am.
Let's talk about
Absolutely.
let's talk about your race. You finished 3rd at Sebring. Well done. You ran into the wall there about midway through at Rio de Janeiro. What happened there on the exit of the right-hander heading up the hill?
You know what? I don't want to talk about this anymore.
All I have to do is move you out of this Discord channel, and the conversation's over.
You know what? If you did that, I'd understand it.
You'd be so sad.
I just like it.
Come on, tell us about what happened there at Rio.
I had damage.
Yeah.
Not like it matters
You
anymore.
had damage.
But I had damage. I got rear-ended on lap 1, and we, you know, I can't even think. I had damage. I got
Was it because the accident was so damaging that you can't think? Is that what's happened?
No, I've learned news I don't like, and I dislike it. But no, I had damage from it was Darkser got in the wall. I got squeezed in the wall by a slip, I think it was. Nobody's fault, just a racing incident. And I got rear-ended, and I got damage. And I was bouncing around for like 3 or 4 laps, and I just came over the top of those curbs one time too wrong, and it was sideways, and there was a wall. And I still can't believe you're quitting on us. This is not okay.
All right, well, I'm going to change the subject back to the race. You were running things for Slow Motion Fire here in FM4. We ran 11 laps and not 12 there at Rio. What gives?
Were there supposed to be 12 laps?
There were supposed to be 12.
I probably messed up on the other one, too.
You
doesn't take away from the fact that I am astonished that you were quitting.
Oh,
you know?
gosh. Yeah, it was supposed to be a 12-lap race. You set it for 12 laps in the game, but of course we always have the the cooldown lap. So shorted 1 lap, but that's okay because that race just was.
Or we're running the last lap next
No,
week.
don't. Nobody's calling for that. I'm not
We're-
clamoring for a 12th lap.
You get a 92-minute long stream next week, all right?
Sure, 92 minutes of Top Gear test track. While slow motion fire is away, can you make that executive decision?
Slow's not here. He's not even here for your second.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Can you make an
I'm
executive
upset.
decision?
I can't think straight. It's like the world's spinning around me and nothing's okay.
It'll be okay. It'll be all right.
It won't be okay.
It'll be okay, man.
No, it won't.
Probably
If spectating comes back, you coming back?
not because I'm not grinding the new Forza Motorsport. I'm not doing it.
Ugh.
I've
Just giving up.
I'm having my own silent protest. I after 20 years, it's just not the thing for me anymore. I don't want to level up cars to do upgrades. I don't want to do any of that. I just wanted to come back and have the joy of the Forza Spec Racing Series to be here and be able to bring the viewers of X Adventure the racing action.
But that's content. Leveling up cars. You could go.
No, it's not. Well, it could be content, but it's content for the gazillion other Forza Motorsport streamers that exist on Twitch. It's not
Yes,
content
but there's
for
only
me.
one you, Dustin.
Nobody wants to see me level up vehicles. I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't say nobody. I would. All right.
All right. Well, the 5 viewers that I'd get would want to see it. Everybody else, nobody cares. All right, Fear. Hey, I gotta go talk to the champion. So, what shout outs do you got for me tonight?
You know what? I shout out you
Thank you.
for quitting on us.
I'm not quitting. I'm retiring.
When things get hard, you quit. This was a marriage between us and you're leaving us here. This is my silent protest, all right?
This is more than I can handle right now. Oh, he left. He said this is my silent protest and he bounced. Okay. All right. Well, hey, let's go ahead and bring in our my apologies, Subaru. I bounced Fear to the front of the queue here because of his subscription. Congratulations. 8 wins here in season 54. So officially you take your championship, I think 12th championship here in FM4, 12th consecutive championship, might I add. You warned me that this track here, Rio de Janeiro in the Crown Vic, could pose problems, and it did so in more ways than one for the majority of the field. But for you and Slipstream, just another race.
Yep. Definitely was another pretty straightforward race. The car felt okay for the most part. I was pretty comfortable with it. Yeah, as I said, the race was definitely going to cause some problems for some people, and it definitely showed that that was definitely the case.
Yeah, there are many instances in the Forza Spec series where you can come without practice, you can come unprepared and just kind of wing it. But clearly, this car track combination was not going to allow that. So it was a race that would probably be better off not being raced. But it is what it is. It was part of the schedule, and it happened. Were you? I was just sharing with Fear the Fun that he made the race 1 lap shorter than it should have been. Were you happy about that?
To be honest, I didn't even know that it was 1 lap shorter.
Yeah.
I just kind of did the race,
Yeah.
just assuming that it was all set up correctly.
Yeah. No, it wasn't, but it probably was for the best that there wasn't one more lap to be had. Talking with LS Subaru here in the driver's spotlight. The next race, Bernese Alps. So it too, like Rio de Janeiro, has all kinds of uphill, downhill sections. But Bernese Alps, I think you've told me that you're kind of fond of that track, or am I wrong?
I don't mind it. I like all tracks, so this will be just another race to me.
Just another race. on the track that will not be in the new Forza Motorsport title. So even if you are a connoisseur of all racing tracks, fact or fiction or nonfiction, Subaru's ready to take it on and get the win. So, which of your two races here this evening was more, I don't know, more satisfying? Did you enjoy Sebring more, or do you really love the challenge that Rio presents?
I found Rio to be the more enjoyable race, to be honest. I just really like those really challenging circuits where it requires a lot of concentration and focus to really dial in the car for those laps, and just yeah, and it also punishes mistakes really harshly as well, which is also another thing that I quite like about the race.
Spoken like somebody who really does love the challenge, even if you're not being challenged for position, challenging yourself to remain focused and concentrated on the task at hand at a track that can just ever so quickly, at the snap of a finger, cause you to lose the race. So well done there by you, Subaru. Going into the finale here with the possibility of getting your 9th victory in season 54. I think this is your second time second chance to sweep the entire season, a golden broom. You last did it back in season, I believe it was 51. Are you going to be out there 1 week from tonight? I know you said you enjoy all tracks, so I have to imagine that you're going to be there for the final race of FM4 in Forza Motorsport 7, yes?
Yeah, I will plan on I am planning on being there, so yeah, looking forward to it.
Trying to get a second Golden Broom Award, sweeping the entire 9-race season. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. You had Darkster out there who challenged you at Sebring, and you withstood the test of the challenge. Well done. Any shout-outs tonight?
Shout out to the team. Slow for making the livery. FM4 for just keeping the season going, the series going, and everyone who signs up for this series and shows up.
All right, Subaru, give the chat what they're looking for.
Lay-lays.
All right, LS Subaru, there you go. Going for 9 victories here in Season 4, 1 week from tonight. And again, that's going to happen out at the Bernese Alps Club Circuit for 65 laps. Oh, joy. I can hardly wait. That does it here tonight. The second to last evening of Season 54. And yes, unfortunately, with how things are panning out with the new Forza title, this will be the last race that I get to commentate with FM4. It's sad, but it was inevitable. It was going to happen at some point. So we're going to go out on a high note. We're going to make the most of it, and hopefully the competition will be strong in that final race. If you have participated here in Season 54, let this be my call to you to get into the lobby 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. The grid will be sorted in reverse grid order based on your championship point tally. So for those with fewer points, you'll be further up in the grid ordering than those who are high on the overall leaderboard. And in this case, LS Subaru will be at the backmost part of the grid there for race number 9 to conclude things in Season 54. Big J Bishop, yeah, with the heart. I know. Big J, it's always been fun bantering with you. You've always been more than happy to jump into the driver's spotlight and have a chat. So yeah, it's mutual. I know we're just giving each other a hard time. Slottles, we will miss you. It's fine. Everything will be fine. I haven't even been here that long. Why is my heart so heavy? Says Triton. We have fun. It has been, for those of you who have found this channel here for Season 54. of the Forza Spec series. I only wish that we would have been able to have you a little bit sooner on to be engaged, be participating in the chat. It really has been a blast. 5 years that I've been here with the FM4 crew. I had to confirm that. I went back to go look at when the very first season that I commentated. It wasn't the first season for FM4. They were like 20-something seasons in, I think, by the time I joined. 2030, I don't know, something like that. But 5 years ago, I never would have had the thought in my mind that we would be still here on Forza Motorsport 7, but just the way it panned out, and sadly things just, I guess, aren't meant to be with the new title. I don't know. I don't know how the feature doesn't show up after 6 years of development, but I'm not a game developer, so I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. The Forza Spec Racing series will continue to go on. So as always, I encourage you to head on over to reddit.com/r/fm4 if you wish to get involved. Who knows? Maybe somebody else that is a racer will broadcast from their vantage point. That's the only thing that I really don't like about, like, if for anybody who's like, well, Dustin, you should just become a racer. Yeah, well, but then I got to do the grind of Forza Motorsport, which at this point in my life, I've just decided I don't want to have a part of. It's been fun in years past, but I'm not looking forward to the whole car leveling / driver leveling / earning the credits / buying the cars and all. It doesn't motivate me. And so to come in as a driver is not something that I wanted to do. And even if I did, like, giving you all just that one view through the entirety of the race. We did it a season ago when I participated in season 53. You all got to see from just my vantage point, and it's just not that exciting. It's not exciting for me as the commentator. I can't imagine it's all that interesting for you all as the viewers. So, no, the timing's right. The timing's right to go ahead and just step aside. There are plenty of content creators out there in Forza Motorsport that certainly will have whatever it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for somebody who is leveling up their garage, if you're looking for somebody who's participating in a racing series, that will be there. That will be there. So I don't know who. I have good ideas in terms of who that will be, but you should be able to find them. Just hang out in the Forza Motorsport directory here on Twitch, YouTube, whatever the case may be, and you guys will be able to find them. So my next broadcast will be here on Friday at approximately 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing something. I don't know. It's going to be my final stream in which I am doing any gaming. The last two streams will be the Forza Spec Racing Series here 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Race number 9 out at the Bernese Alps. And then the final stream on September 29th, that is a Friday, will be me putting together a Back to the Future DeLorean Lego car. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good way. It's a good way for me to, like, interact with the stream and not be engrossed with playing a game. And instead, I could just be putting brick by brick together until I have a full-blown DeLorean in my hands, and be able to chat with you all here. And of course, for those of you who aren't able to make it live on September 29th for that final stream, fear not, there will be the VOD available, the video on demand, which you can go back until Twitch gets rid of that. I think it's a 30-day window. Of course, all races here in Season 54 you can watch back in their entirety on the video on demand section here on Twitch, but then also, again, they get uploaded over to YouTube. And really, if you want to take a trip back in time, you can go check out that first season in which I commentated for the Forza Spec Racing Series. Over the years, I pretty much have captured every single broadcast and put it onto YouTube. There are a few that escaped, that didn't make it for one reason or another. Either I forgot to upload it before Twitch deleted it, or sometimes the stream accidentally didn't get recorded. there are only a few of those that didn't make it. And then, of course, there are instances where I was unavailable for a certain week of the season. So you're going to see a few gaps in terms of the YouTube archive, but like 90%, if not like 95%, are there. So you can really see how the broadcast has come along in the last 5 years. You listen to them while you're going to sleep. Yeah, I don't think don't do that. When you're absolutely bored, then check them out, huh? All right, folks, that does it. Like I said, I don't know what's happening here on Friday in terms of the content, but if you'd like to hang out with me, 6 p.m. Eastern, I don't have a slide for it because I just don't know what it's going to be. So if you're here, great. If not, no biggie. Hope to catch you next Tuesday or for the finale of the channel there on September 29th. Until then, as always, be happy, be healthy. Most importantly, be kind to one another. Adios.